We're finally jumping into the world of John Hughes. And we're going to be talking about one of his more obscure movies as we talk about 40 years of weird science. Let's go.
Flip the switches to maximum amplification as Parker, Dan, and Angela prepare for their operation. With trivia and plot points scrawled across their walls, laughter and debate erupts as the movie's drama calls. The world may call them crazy, minds gone astray, but genius and passion and madness all dance the same way. Now the show begins to rise from its broadcast realm, and you can open your eyes as we dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dissect That Film podcast, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-hosts, Dan and Angela.
Hello.
And joining us, once again, it's been a long time. He was out fighting in his Guyver suit for quite a while. And you were all like, oh, man, Guyver 2, right? No. We invited Tony to talk about weird science. Yes, we have the famous Tony from Hack the Movies back on the show. What's going on, Tony?
Oh, I'm so glad to be back here. I love your show, guys. I love every episode. Every episode you've done is great, except for the Leprechaun 3, My Bloody Valentine, Santa Claus, Abbott and Costello, Meet the Mummy, Leprechaun 2, Polar Express, and Ernest Scared Stupid. Other than those episodes, every episode.
I wonder why Tony dislikes all of those specific episodes.
Totally random. Totally random.
I wonder who was on those episodes.
I sure hope it wasn't a guy who last minute told me he couldn't do the monthly wrap up last month. I don't know if he happens to be in all those episodes.
Is that a bus I hear?
Yeah. It's going fast.
Oh, we had a plan. You know, I'll say it here. We literally had a plan where we were going to invite you on an episode and then secretly have Joey just pop up. Like we were going to tell you Joey's just going to show up.
And here he is. No, I'm just kidding.
Obviously it didn't work because Joey cancels last minute.
Oh my God. I want to
have heard Joey. Joey's like the most loyal person who's always on time and everything. He misses two things and I'm like, you're dead to me forever.
Oh man, Joey is an absolute blast to have, and I mean, no wonder everyone wants him on their show. Literally, we have him on our show. Other podcasts are like, "Hey, how can I get Joey on the show?" I'm like, "You just gotta ask." Like, he will probably say yes.
He will do it. He
will. He's been on your show a million times. He's been on our show, I think, almost the most of anybody.
Well, I'm glad he's not on this one because he doesn't deserve to talk about John Hughes' weird science.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about today. 1985's Weird Science. Hughes. This is our first time talking about anything John Hughes has done, which is shocking because he's got so many classics that I love. Mostly Vacation. That's my all-time favorite John Hughes.
That's a good one.
He didn't direct it, but
yeah,
he was writing, directing.
He was more known for writing than directing, really. I've covered Christmas Vacation and I guess the first three Home Alones. I guess I covered that with John Hughes.
Which he wrote the first two, right? And then at the third, did he write the third one?
He wrote the third one.
Oh,
he wrote the third one.
Poor guy.
Yep.
Poor guy. So Tony, what is your history with weird science?
Weird Science. I remember people talking about it when I was younger, and then it came on cable one day, and I watched it, and I went, "This movie's really funny." And then I watched it a couple more times throughout the years, and then I hadn't watched it again until this morning. And then when I was done, I went, "That movie's really funny." More F-slurs than I remember, but it's still really funny.
Yeah. I mean, I it was funny because like you would hear it, and like you want to react. But you're also going, oh yeah, this movie is 40 years old. Like that was just normal. That was normal up until the 90s, like mid 90s. It was constantly being dropped.
Early 2000s, actually.
That is true.
I was watching. I'm like, wow, none of the characters are looking around first before they say it. This
No,
is
they're
taking me
just-
out.
It's just coming out. Well, since
But,
Dan disappeared.
yeah,
Sorry, our daughter just got home from my mom's house. So
it's we'll kill time. We'll kill time until he comes back. It's very of its time. It is like looking at a little time capsule here.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
very dated. Just the wardrobe and everything is very, very dated.
Oh, yeah.
But that happens all the time. Some movies are more dated than others. I think we did like Final Destination 4 recently, and I'm just like, man, that is a very late 2000s film. You could just tell by everyone's hair.
Oh, yeah. Was it Final Destination 4? When did that come out? Like 2009?
Yeah, that was the 3D one. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember when 3 came out and my brother got the DVD and it was like, choose your own adventure. And it's like, what is this? DVD in. Watch every single possible ending you can get. It's wild. Wild.
There's some movies that are like, of the period, but then there's some movies that go like really hard on whatever's stylish at the time. And those are the movies that date like the worst. Luckily, this one has a good script and it's very funny and the characters are funny. But like just visually, I'm like, oh man, what is going on with Robert Downey's hair? Oh my God, what's going on with everyone's hair?
Just the
and
same
his
do.
teeth.
The teeth, yeah.
He has definitely had some work done. I was like, he don't even look the same.
I know.
Yeah,
and he's Robert Downey, which I thought was interesting. He didn't do the junior yet.
Yeah, that is weird because his dad was active at the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, his dad wasn't a big. I think he was mostly a producer, but he wasn't doing like big projects. So maybe he was just like, nobody really knows of him. So I'll just use that. Dan, since you're back, what's your history with weird science?
None. I knew of it. No, I was outside. Just kid dog thing. Neighbor's big dog was off the chain.
Oh, I don't think I asked what you were doing, Dan.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't. But I'm explaining to you what I was doing and why I was taking so long because my kid was getting dropped off. The other kid wanted to say hi to his grandmother, and there was a large dog outside off the chain. And I figured, well, I'm either going to be gone for a long time or this is going to be short because that dog's probably going to be dead if it ain't. So
great.
Not that I'm saying
covered in blood. You're like, weird science.
Let's talk about it.
I just thumbs up and just walk off, just collapse. Yes. No, I have no experience. I knew of it. Like I know of John Hughes's work or stuff he's done. That's it.
Angela.
Boring answer.
Same. Whenever we watched it.
Wow.
What was it, Saturday?
She told me, she's like, I'm here for the titties. That's all she told me. I was like, all right.
I only know the Oingo Boingo song. Just saying. That's all I know.
I was going to quiz you. I think we've talked about Oingo Boingo on the show before. And I think I've asked you, hey, do you know who the lead singer of Oingo Boingo is? But you already.
Danny Elfman.
There you go. Tony knew.
I didn't know we were answering the question.
No, you shook your head yes, so you answered. You knew who it was.
Yes.
I had to tell my wife. We were watching it and we were hearing the song because the song is played 7,000 times in the movie. And I was like, hey, it's a singer. This is Oingo Boingo. And she just looked at me like, what?
I always get, whenever I hear Oingo Boingo, I always think of that one skit from Family Guy. I want to wham my Oingo Boingo into your velvet underground. That's what I think of. Just terrible, but carry on.
I feel like it's when it comes to Oingo Boingo, I just know of Weird Science, and then there was another song that I can't remember the name, but it's like one of their most popular songs. Couldn't tell you what the name of it is.
I'm looking it up. Don't worry.
Oh, they're both going. Go, 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 go.
Dead Man's Party?
Yes.
Oh, I know.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's the one. It's just that's the only other one I recognize when I looked at this list was Dead Man's Party. I'm like, that's the one.
My history with this movie was it was on cable a lot. Along with every John Hughes movie. Like I swear they had like a John Hughes marathon on like USA or whatever network, playing The Breakfast Club and Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, all of them. And this was the one that just didn't feel like John Hughes compared to the others. Cause the other ones were so grounded with like real life, like shit going on. Like you can relate to like everybody here. Like this movie is just out of control. Two teenagers literally turning a Barbie doll into a human being. I'm sold. And it turns out to be Kelly LeBrock. So
the science definitely is very weird. It makes no goddamn sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Literally, it's that old 80s thing where like computers, am I right? They're
Yep.
It's actually funny because we just did Superman 3 recently, and like talk about a movie that didn't understand computers or what they could do. They're like, yeah, if you do this, a satellite will change the weather. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. They're like, yeah, if we punch the right code in, we can turn a Barbie doll into a living, breathing human with godlike powers.
Yes. Which is a fact of the movie I completely forgot about.
Yeah.
Like rewatching this yesterday, I was like, I'm just sitting there going, I don't remember the direction that this movie goes in. I don't remember her having the magical powers and her just kind of automatically being smart and just kind of like a regular person. Because you always expect movies like this, it would be like they made this person and then they have to like help her become a person.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking of before watching it yesterday, and it's like, nope.
I really liked her characterization in this. I don't know if that's just me. I like that she's like, I know everything that's going on, and like they kind of make her for them, but that's not really what she ends up doing. Like she makes out with them as like a way to teach them how to make out. She's like giving them dating lessons. She's like trying to help them out. She almost has like
underage, ma'am.
Yeah, they even say at the end that she's more like a big sister to them, really.
Yeah. But they're always like afraid, like, oh, are we going to offend her by saying these things? Yeah. I love Kelly LeBrock. The first time I ever watched a movie with Kelly LeBrock was Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal, who her ex-husband, who she has 3 children. Who has 3 children with Steven Seagal? Come on, Kelly.
Only her.
Thank God they're probably grown now. She doesn't have to. Ever
they're like they're probably. I think one is like your age. One of them is like a couple of years younger than me. Yeah, they're all older. They're all in their 30s now. I just saw a video of Steven Seagal walking through a Putin parade. I was like, that seems right. Steven Seagal.
That checks out.
I showed my friend on the show, Angela. I showed her the montage of him running in movies.
Oh yeah,
he does that weird girly run.
Yeah,
different Angela.
I know
he does that weird girly run. I'm like, yeah, that's how he runs.
Yep. Especially in all the early stuff, like the late 80s, early 90s stuff, like Hard to Kill, Out for Justice. God, I have like a 4-pack of Seagal. Oh, man, too many Seagal movies. Just don't watch his like later stuff, like 2000s, like Exit Wounds. And
no, honestly, that's one of the good ones. His modern
Past Dead.
His modern direct-to-video ones are the ones you don't want to watch.
Yes. Oh man. Well, as we were saying, this was directed by John Hughes. For anyone who doesn't know who John Hughes is, he directed such classics as 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, and wrote movies like Pretty in Pink, Home Alone, National Lampoon's Vacation, Christmas Vacation. He even wrote he wrote what was the European Vacation, which came out the same year as this movie. He had 3 projects going on in 1985.
Yeah. That's when he was like killing it. In 1983, he also had 3 projects. He was very active.
Oh yeah.
Up
absolutely.
until like right before he died, he was writing stories for movies and shit. So he never stopped, that guy.
Yeah, because what was it? The Breakfast Club came out in April of 1985. Weird Science came out in August of 1985. And then European Vacation, I think, came out in between.
Yep.
And was Anthony Michael Hall actually turned down European Vacation to be in Weird Science.
Yeah.
Which then turned into the trend for the vacation movies where every single vacation movie has a different Rusty and Audrey. So
occasionally an old Audrey would come back, but that was like it. Like
I think it was one time I read where it was like this weird, it was like Christmas Vacation 2, Uncle Eddie's, Cousin Eddie's, whatever. I don't even think was
don't watch that one. Do yourself a favor. Do not watch Christmas Vacation 2.
Was Randy Quaid in that?
Yes.
He was?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, that's one of those. Sometimes you got to learn that lesson that like sometimes a side character should be a side character. Not every side character can be the main character of a story, and it has never been more obvious than Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure.
I think that's just Randy Quaid, though. I think Randy Quaid was never meant to be a leading actor. Like it
was before he went a little.
No, but like I just thinking of like movies that he was in like the 80s and 90s. Like he always bounced off the lead actor. I think he was always great at that. Like Christmas Vacation, like the vacation movies. We talked about Kingpin a few weeks ago. You know, I think if you don't have Woody Harrelson there, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
No.
And like Independence Day, like he's not a major character, but he's an impactful character. But he's got a great surrounding cast. Like, and we even talked about him in Days of Thunder last year. Like he was a small bit part in that movie, but he was like impactful, even though he wasn't the main character. Like, yeah, that was Randy Quaid for you. Now both Quaids are crazy. So this stars Anthony Michael Hall as Gary Wallace. We have I don't know how to what's his first name? Is it Island Mitchell Smith? Is that an Island Mitchell Smith?
It might be Alon.
Alon Mitchell Smith is Wyatt. Kelly LeBrock is Lisa. We have Bill Paxton back again. We haven't talked about Bill in a long time, not since we talked about Aliens.
Ooh.
I think. Yeah, because I think we've covered 3 movies with him now. We did The Terminator. Twister was like early episode, and then Aliens. Anthony Michael Hall, we haven't talked about him, I think, since The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight.
Just The Dark Knight.
Just The Dark Knight.
He did not have a scene with me.
He did not. His character was dead.
I kept pushing for it. I kept saying to Christopher Nolan, I said, I want a scene with Anthony Michael Hall. And they said, sir, stop yelling in the middle of a take. You're an uncredited extra. Stop it. You have no lines or close-ups. Stop making demands.
Never.
I said, where's Anthony Michael Hall? I want to do a scene. I want a love scene with Anne Hathaway. And they said, sir, you need to leave. You need to leave.
Please stop yelling things at us.
She's not even in this scene. Leave.
That's when he just said, I want to make out with Tom Hardy. With the mask on.
Mask on, yes.
Anthony Michael Hall is in the latest season of Reacher, which just came out a couple months ago. So he's still active. Suzanne Snyder as Deb. This is our second movie we've talked about with her. She was in Killer Clowns, playing the main lead's girlfriend.
She did not I did not recognize her at all until you just said that.
I saw her name in the credits and went, oh yeah, she's from Killer Clowns. And then when she shows up, I was like, oh yeah, I remember her. And I haven't seen Killer Clowns in a while, yet I bought the 4K and still haven't opened it. So sweet. Judy Aronson as Hilly. Robert Downey Jr. as Ian. Have we covered any Robert Downey Jr. movies on the show? I don't think so.
You know what's funny?
I think it's our first.
I totally misremember until I watched it today. I thought he was one of the main guys. I thought he was like Anthony Michael Hall's friend in the movie.
To be honest, I kind of went into it thinking the same. I was like, who the hell is this kid?
Because I remember he wears the bra, and I'm like, oh, he's one of the guys. I'm like, oh no, he wears it way later.
Yeah.
Also, circling back to Suzanne Snyder, she played 2 separate characters on the show Seinfeld. One of them, she was the neo-Nazi in the limo episode.
Yes!
You ever seen the limo episode?
The one who's like infatuated with George because he says he's like the neo-Nazi guy. Yeah.
Yes. O'Brien.
Yes.
I also thought I looked it up a bit earlier, and it's like, she played Ava in the limo and Audrey in the pie. The one who won't eat the pie but won't say why, and it bothers the shit out of Jerry. Sorry, Seinfeld. If I recognize someone from Seinfeld or Twin Peaks, I have to bring up that they were in Seinfeld.
I could talk about Seinfeld all fucking day. Robert Russler as Max. We've talked about him once when we did our Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective. He was in Nightmare 2.
Yeah.
Vernon Wells as Lord General, which we'll talk about him more in detail later. Britt Leach as Al Wallace. Barbara Lang as Lucy Wallace, which are Gary's parents, who are hilarious in the scene we'll talk about. And then Michael Berryman. He's back. Guess what, Tony? What's the movie? What's the last time that this show has talked about Michael Berryman?
So I don't remember.
The Guyver. You were on the episode.
That was a while ago. I don't know if you covered.
Remember things.
You know how many movies Michael Berryman's in? He's in a lot of movies.
All of them.
I don't know if you've covered one since.
You know what? He said earlier that he loved our show and he's listened to every single one. And now I figured out it's all a lie.
Michael Berryman, I met him a few years ago, and he's a talker. He will talk to you for a long time, for a very long time. I just said I like his movies, and he started giving me his life story. And he was selling a book about his biography. I'm like, wow, are these stories in the book? And he went, no, well, maybe some of them. I'm like, why are you telling me all these stories?
Don't you want me to buy the book and read it?
I thought this was a really long sales pitch for the book, but okay. Nice guy, though. Sweet guy.
Oh, my goodness. So there was an original actress. Well, she was actually a model, Kelly M. Berg, who was initially cast as Lisa, but she had to drop out due to creative differences. And then they ended up bringing in Kelly LeBrock, which I think was a good choice because I don't know if Kelly M. Berg was much of an actress. She was just, I think they just wanted her for her looks. And,
but I mean, like, what were the creative differences, you think?
I wonder if there was like, do you think there was like nudity in it? Because I think they tried to get Kelly LeBrock to do nude scenes and she refused. But they also wanted to keep it a PG-13 rating, so it doesn't make much sense.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean, that could be for international versions, though.
Yeah,
sometimes they did that.
They fucking pushed it in this movie.
There is nudity in this movie.
Oh, wait, no, there's a lot of like,
multiple times.
It's like pictures of nudity in the background, and then Bill Paxton's ass.
The chick,
there's boobs.
the lady who gets her top sucked off up the chimney. Like,
Right,
there's a lot of tatters in
right.
this movie.
Right, I remember that now. Well, this is when the PG-13 rating was like still new, right?
Yeah, it came out the year before, I think.
Yeah. So
What's our?
I hate the rating system anyway. It's not, it doesn't make any sense, but I guess they were still figuring out what the rules were, really.
Yeah, they're like, what's the cutoff on titties? Like, like 2.5? Half?
Oh wait, I think I actually talked about this recently. On Kaylee's show, he did Night at the Roxbury, and there are some boobs in there, even though it's PG-13. And apparently, there's like some weird loophole where you could show them as long as it's not like a sexual act that's being done. I think that's how Titanic got around it too, because she's like modeling for a drawing,
but it's
not
so
doing
long.
Yeah,
that lasts a long time.
I mean, obviously, it's building to something sexual. I think there is some kind of loophole there, but I don't know if the rules still apply to that today. I feel like you wouldn't. I don't feel like you're going to see any titties in a Marvel movie anytime soon. I'm just saying.
Darn it.
Why not? Squeeze it, get some She-Hulk tits. Like, wham!
Listen, Florence Pugh, she is not shy on Instagram and stuff like that. So I wouldn't have been surprised if it was her. But here we are. My favorite thing I read about this movie was the fact that Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel like argued on their show about this movie because I think it was Ebert was like, this is a fun movie, gave it a 3 out of 4 stars. He's like, this is a great time, and Siskel he gave it a 1.5 stars. And his quote was, "What a disappointment Weird Science is. A wonderful writer-director has taken a cute idea about 2 teenage Dr. Frankensteins creating a perfect woman by computer and turned it into a vulgar, mindless, special effects clustered wasteland." Come on, bro.
Yeah,
you're going a little hard on that, dude.
Did we watch the same movie? That was an Endgame. No, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
But the best is when you watch the clip of them actually talk about this movie, and Ebert's just like, why don't you just have fun? Are you just not allowed to have fun?
So one of my favorite things to do is to go watch old At the Movies episodes, and I love when they argue with each other. It's like one of my favorites. So good. When they would just get really mad at each other. Like,
it's fantastic.
Do we cut? No, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
They think it's done. The music was done by Ira Newborn. They did music for pretty much everything JohnHughes related. It was released August 2nd, 1985. It had a runtime of 94 minutes, had a budget of $7.5 million, and it made $38.9 million at the box office. So
That's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good for a comedy from, in 1985. Comedies now, they're not making that money. Like they just, comedies don't make money anymore. And it's
there's very few like legit comedies these days. The only ones that maybe make money are if they're sandwiched with like action or horror or something. There's no just like what's it called? The only the last like straight up comedy I think I saw in theaters that wasn't a part of any other genre, just comedy, was the Saturday Night Live movie, Saturday Night. And that movie didn't do well. So I don't know why comedies. It was good. I just don't know why they're not doing well at the theater. Maybe on streaming they do better, but yeah, I feel like every comedy I've seen is mixed with action or mixed with horror or something like that.
Or romance. Who the fuck wants that?
That one makes a little bit more sense, I think.
I don't know.
Or you could be, making a romance. Like I remember going to see, I can't remember what came out at the same time. Maybe it was Deadpool and Wolverine. They literally showed the trailers for the Blake Lively movie. That's now a big controversial thing because she's getting sued by the director and actor behind it. But it was like this huge thing of like, romantic dramas are back. Like, look at this movie with Blake Lively. It's just been a dumpster fire ever since. Like, is the movie any good? I don't know.
Not to plug up.
It ends with us.
Oh, that's the one where it's like the abuse one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friends, the All Apologies podcast, they looked into it. They looked up her side. They looked up that dude. They researched both people. And I listened to that episode and I came out of it going, I hate everyone involved in this drama. I think they're all assholes. I listened to both. I listened to everything. I'm like, I can't find a good guy in this story. It just seems like assholes trying to screw each other over.
It's like everybody's just so angry about nothing.
Yeah.
Listen, she never should have left the kitchen and he shouldn't ask for a sandwich. Problem solved.
Oh my God.
I will smack you in front of everybody.
That's fine.
Please.
That's not anything new.
No.
Dan, we literally just talked about the fact I haven't got to cut anything you've said in a while. That's a thin line right there.
That was a challenge. I'm sorry. I'm pushing for it.
The cinematographer, I usually, especially with movies like this, I usually don't talk about the cinematographer, but the name was familiar. It was Matthew Leonetti, who's related to John Leonetti, who is a cinematographer for pretty much like every Conjuring movie. He also directed Annabelle, which is not good. But I figured I would shout him out. He was, I forgot. He was also the director of Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, that's classic.
And Butterfly Effect, too. Just for anyone who wants to know that.
But yeah, the guy who did this also did Poltergeist and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He shot a bunch of comedies and stuff. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, sure did.
Good.
After this movie came out, both Robert Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall became members of SNL. Very short stint. Anthony Michael Hall was actually the youngest cast member of all time at 17 years old, which is crazy.
Did they make it on TV much? Or
I don't think so. I think it was only a couple stints. Yeah. And then they went off, and I know that Anthony Michael Hall did things for a bit. Like he was a bit part here and there, but it wasn't until he started in the Dead Zone TV show.
Yeah.
Was when he became, he
completely
came back into the zeitgeist here.
Completely changed. He bulked up and everything. Was. I mean, everyone changes. No one looks like they do when they were a teen.
I mean, he was 15 or 16 in this movie. So
yeah, but if you were to look at him and it's usually you look at someone older and see the progression, but no, he just changed his look completely. It's I can't the young Anthony Michael Hall and older. And sometimes it takes me a minute to realize they're the same person because they just look so different.
Yeah, it's not like Bill Paxton where you're watching this movie and oh, that's Bill Paxton. He's looked the same his whole life.
Robert Downey in this, I'm I could tell that guy's gonna grow up into what Robert Downey looks like now. But Anthony Michael Hall, man, I really bulked up and stopped being so shrimpy.
Yeah, I think when I went to go see The Dark Knight and he shows up and I didn't even know it was him. Like that's how drastic he changed. And I was like, oh, that was that guy? Oh, okay. Cool. I think it's time to get into the plot of Weird Science. Let's do this. All right. You ready? It's time to dissect.
Dissect.
That.
Oh!
It's time to get weird, people.
He
Is it a
tried.
countdown or something. Jesus.
No. It's like you've never been
We
here
don't
before,
even get a
Tony.
countdown.
It's been a long time. We established.
Stop with the excuses.
He's never coming back. You realize that, right?
Yeah, right. They always come
We're gonna-
back.
We're gonna find him.
He's got to try to break Joey's record here.
Does Joey have the record?
I don't know. He's been on it quite a bit. I think it's like 6 times now.
What an asshole.
6. He listed off like 8 movies earlier.
Oh, okay, I don't know. He has his own playlist on YouTube now. That's how many times he's been on the show. So the movie opens to an all-girls gymnastics class. I don't know, but how does none of these girls know that these two dudes are just standing in this open doorway staring at them? Like they're all doing their thing.
They're in their own world.
And
They're in their own world.
And they're just talking about how they want to get with them all and just being horny teens.
Well, one of them is being horny. The other one keeps ruining the face. He's like, yeah, but they don't like us. He's like, we shut up. I'm having like a fantasy here.
I'm going to say it right now. I know we still got a lot. We just jumped into the plot. Island Mitchell Smith, not a good actor. Not good in this movie, by the way. He's very bland. And I don't know if that was just on purpose for the character. Like, I know this character is supposed to be kind of the opposite of Anthony Michael Hall, who's like, he's very out there and it doesn't he has no filter. Will say whatever he wants. And Wyatt's kind of like I'm just going to sit back here and let you do your thing and I'll join in if you really need me. But as the movie progresses, I'm just like, this guy doesn't sell me on anything.
Yeah, they try to make him more of like the main character toward the end.
Yeah.
But Anthony Michael Hall's character is just way more entertaining. He's being outacted by Anthony Michael Hall. That's the problem. I mean, obviously, like he's still at like what's his face still acts today, but he does other things too.
He's like a professor at a
he's like a professor.
Like
he apparently does a lot of tabletop gaming. So yeah, you can tell he wasn't like the strongest actor, and his resume will show that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense that he's like not the strong one. I think I talked about this recently. It's fun when we talked about From Dusk Till Dawn. It's fun to go back and watch movies where like literally almost everyone in it became like a huge celebrity, and then there's always just one that stands out who did nothing. And this is I mean, he did stuff, but like nowhere on the level of all the other ones.
He was the one who actually was trying to get either a reboot or a sequel to Weird Science done, like in like 2009 or 10. And then it was like 10 years later, they were trying to do something else, and it just never panned out. Mostly, I think because of John Hughes' passing, and
it's hard to do without him.
Yeah,
they should have done it in the late 90s, early 2000s, because you had like all those raunchy teen comedies like American Pie and shit like that. That would have been the time.
There was a TV show. There was a TV show from 94 to 98. They did a Weird Science TV show. It went for like 88 episodes. And speaking of Kingpin, Vanessa Angel played the Lisa character in the TV show.
I should check out the TV show.
Yeah.
But no, you're 100% right. That would have been the last time you could have done that.
Yeah.
Like you can't really get like sort of raunchy teen comedies anymore, really. No. The last one I saw that was actually good. Did you guys watch Bottoms?
No, but it's on my list.
That one is actually funny. It's almost like if you guys ever watch Wet Hot American Summer, you ever see that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's that kind of like humor where it'll be realistic and then go full cartoony. But that one was funny. It's about like 2 lesbian students that start a self-defense club, but it's just because they want to like get handsy with other girls. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I haven't seen like a horny comedy like this in a really long time.
Didn't they set it in like the early 2000s? Is it set in like modern day?
I'd have to rewatch it. I think it's set modern day.
Okay. For some reason, I
But
thought
yeah,
it was
no,
set in like the early 2000s.
American Pie era would have been the perfect time
Oh,
for
yeah.
weirder science. That would have been the
No.
perfect time for it.
Yeah.
And you have the
Ugh.
two main characters of this just be the dads. Like they're just the dads with their kids.
Yeah, and it'd have to be two girls that make a bro.
Yes.
Yeah. Surprised
That's
that
what it
never
has to be.
happened.
Yeah.
See, they could do that. They could do that movie,
Yeah.
but you just can't do this one again.
No, you can't even do that one these days.
No.
Yeah. I don't think you can do any
You
of them.
really can't.
No, you can't. You can't have a movie where like mid-20s guy is like hooking up a 14-year-old girl.
Oh no! Back it up! Erase it!
That was like the problem with this movie. I'm like, okay, well,
Ah.
I'm like, oh wow, they keep saying like her age difference. She's like full on making out with them. Then I had to remember, I'm like, she's technically 1 day old. I'm like, who's the problem in this situation? I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I don't know who's going to jail. And I'm like, is she even really a person? I don't even know.
Yeah, and I think both Anthony Michael Hall and Island Mitchell Smith were both like 15 or 16 during
Yeah.
filming. So
Yep.
it wasn't like they were 18 plus, pretending to be teenagers and they're making out with Kelly LeBrock. No. They were minors making out with Kelly LeBrock.
What a time to be alive.
1985, everybody.
Although they're not like that far. Like, I'm looking at it right now. Anthony Michael Hall's 57. She's 65. I guess it wasn't that far, but
Yeah, she was
Whatever.
24 when this was made. So
yeah. It's still like you still wouldn't be able to do that today.
No.
No.
Especially if it was gender swap. Then that would be that would be the most uncomfortable movie in the world.
You make them college girls.
Yes, that's what you would have to do.
Make them college girls.
But
Mm,
still,
so they're
they
still
were making
18.
they were making her boobies really big. Are they going to make his
Oh
Absolutely.
manhood
when we get to
really
that
big?
scene,
Like,
when we get to
But
that scene,
they
it's
showed
hilarious.
some restraint. Thank you very much.
They dialed it back.
Oh, this is when we meet baby RDJ and his friend, and they walk up and they just pants him. And then they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, look over here!" And then all the girls look over there like you haven't noticed these two guys just standing there. They're not even hiding; they're just blatantly out there. And
I love that they just didn't pick up their pants
yeah,
right
they're just
away.
like, "Oh."
They were frozen in shock.
Oh, and then we get the title card, which I love the title card of this movie with
Yeah.
the Frankenstein electricity, hitting the weird science.
Weird science.
And yeah, we get the song.
I know I've had the song stuck in my head for days.
Which was funny. The movie actually replaces this song with other songs in other parts of the movie because this was the only song that they would play like throughout the entire movie in the original cuts, but the HD cuts they actually included other songs. They just kind of put it over it. Yeah.
Ooh.
So Wyatt's parents are away. Wyatt is played by Island Mitchell Smith, and you find out Chet's in charge, but you haven't seen Chet yet, but you're gonna meet him, and he's a character.
Chet.
He's an asshole.
He's a
Yeah,
fucking
he's a piece of Chet.
He's
Yeah.
a piece of shit. And the guys are upstairs watching Frankenstein. Is this just a colorized version of the original Frankenstein?
Yes. I don't know if it was Ted Turner, but that was like a thing in the 80s. Ted Turner was doing it. I don't know if this is one of the ones he was doing. They were colorizing old black and white movies, and there was a lot of controversy around it.
It didn't look
And one of the people who, yeah, it did look weird. One of the people who came out and talked about how you shouldn't alter these films was George Lucas.
Oh no, not altering movies, you say?
Yeah.
Of
I guess
all
he had
people.
I guess he had a little asterisk there. He's like, you shouldn't alter movies unless you own them, and then you can do whatever you want, especially even if you're not the director and the director dies, you just make all the changes. But if you don't own them legally and didn't create them, then you shouldn't do it.
And then I'm going to make it so that you can never find the original versions again. You got to
It's
watch
just
that
funny.
weird CGI Jabba the Hutt just wandering around.
No, I want the fat man with Han Solo. That's
Yes.
what I want.
That
But
wasn't
yeah,
even
you
in the
look up-
original movie.
But yeah, you can look up like there's like colored King Kong, colored
Ooh.
30 Miracle on 34th Street. It was like
I
a
don't
thing
like
that
it.
they were doing. Yeah.
What about
I
what
have
about
seen the Miracle on 34th Street one.
Yeah.
It wasn't too
There is-
bad.
There is one I want to see, and Tony, you probably know about this, but the Italian colored Godzilla 54.
Yes.
I want to
that,
see it.
That movie's so bizarre.
I've
It's
never seen it,
so
but I want
insane.
to.
So they Gary comes up with an idea. Is like, well, why don't we use your computer and make the perfect woman? This movie just goes right off the rip. They're like, there's no setup really to them doing this. It's like, none of the chicks at school like us, so why don't we just make our own with your computer? And then they're just like, okay, and he just starts doing it. I was like, what?
And I love that they just, it's almost like they're having fun with how much they don't care how like realistic it is. They're like, fuck it. He does the science thing. A guy at a lab, a power station freaks out. They're like, we're just gonna throw random stuff. He might as well have just came out and said, this is just an excuse to get a babe with powers. Just go with it. It's not, you're not supposed to care about this part, even though we called it weird science. Ignore the science part of it.
But they create her not knowing that she's gonna have powers. Like I think they just create her just to make the perfect woman. They hook up like a Barbie doll. I love that they're like feeding different things into it. Like originally they were gonna have like her intelligence be like a 5th grade, brain. It's gonna be dumb.
Yeah, they put Albert Einstein in there, but like a picture of Albert Einstein is will give her all the information. I love that they played video of David Lee Roth have a TV show.
No, it was part of a music video. It was it was a part of a music video for his first solo album.
Thank God. I don't know if you know this about David Lee Roth, but when Howard Stern left regular radio for satellite in a bunch of markets, I know it was in Philly, they replaced him with David Lee Roth, who was absolutely terrible as a host of a show. And David Lee Roth does a podcast, and guess what? He's absolutely terrible as a host of a show. Okay. So I hope she got none of that from him. Maybe she has a high pitch singing voice, and maybe she can kick her legs high. That's all I want from David Lee Roth.
The only thing I like about David Lee Roth is he made great music with Van Halen, and that's all I care about. Anything else that man did, I do not give a shit. The dude's crazy. He just posts random videos on his YouTube channel of him singing ridiculous versions of songs, like doing covers.
His podcast, he will stop mid-sentence and just sing random stuff. I'm like, this is insufferable. Stop doing this.
It's something. Yeah. I love that they're also scanning like Playboys and stuff like that. That's how they're getting the models for what she's gonna look like. Oh, the thing where they're making the boobs bigger and they get so big they just start twirling around.
And again, they had restraint. They make them a practical size. Okay, Angela, maybe you can't agree with this, or maybe you don't relate to this. Maybe you do. I don't know. But as the men here, if you ever had a custom creator in a wrestling game and you had the women, you put the breast size all the way up every single time. Any custom creator in a video game, any teenage boy is like, well, obviously we have to make them as big as humanly possible. So them being like, oh no, that's unrealistic. Let's tone it down.
The reason he was like, you want to make sure, you don't want to have too much. You want to have like just a handful. That's the perfect size. That's what
the real reason is that breast implants weren't there yet. And they're like, we can't get an actress who can pull this off.
Exactly. That's 100% what I was thinking. There's like no fucking way that these dudes would think that.
Yeah. But these days you can do it.
Yep.
What's the one fighting game, not Street Fighter, but the one fighting game that you have
DOA.
Dead or Alive.
I don't even need
you have to put your age in.
Jiggle
and the older you are, the bigger they are.
Ridiculous in that game. Oh my god!
Dead or Alive beach volleyball.
Oh my god!
I play it for the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
I play it for the plot. The plot.
The volleyball tournament. But yeah, that part was unrealistic to me. Okay, luckily
it's horse shit.
At least this is a fun sci-fi comedy thing. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm like, nah, teenage boys, they would have made them as big as they possibly could.
I can't wait to look at the analytics of this episode on YouTube and be like, men 100%, women 0. Oh man. Yeah, so they strap a doll to like a box. They throw the bras on the head.
I love them wearing the bras.
Yeah.
Why are we wearing the bras? Don't worry about it. Oh, aesthetics. He says aesthetics.
I will say, I did go shopping today. I could not find a bra that looks like that. I don't think they make bras that look like that anymore.
No, that looks like one from like the 50s, like what a woman would wear in like the 50s or 60s. It's like pointy ones.
Oh, yeah.
You're the expert. I was just asking, do they make bras like that anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
not anymore, but they definitely.
I know they
did.
They're not as common.
No.
That's the thing.
Just go to Goodwill or any, place like
Honestly,
that.
I did 2 stores, and I had other stuff I had to do, and I'm like, I'm not committed to the bit this much. So after the second store,
we are not fans of the pointy bras. Just trust me.
But actually, I almost bought an old-timey pointy bra to wear on my head for the episode, and I just couldn't find one.
They're out there.
I didn't feel like
Just
asking
go to a
my wife
vintage store.
for one, so. I also had a whole bit for the intro to this episode, and I was too tired to do it. This is the quality entertainment you get, ladies and gentlemen.
Hand it to me, and I'll put it on my head.
So,
did anybody watch this? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I don't. Dang it, I don't know Tony's situation, but Parker, I do. Did anybody watch this with anybody younger?
No, I watched it by myself.
No.
Because I watched my son was out here and I was like, it's PG-13. I was like, tits, get the fuck out. I was like, just hit the bricks, son. Like,
the Playboys that are like all over the floor.
Yeah, and it's like not even like, oh, they're just in tops. No, it's fucking tits. I'm just like, just get because he likes watching movies with us. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Very different parenting than what I was used to. It was just like, whatever.
But then he would come out of his room to go outside, and he's like,
it's like, dude, just go. Like, you're not gonna hear it. Nobody's like getting destroyed.
He comes back in from outside and he's got his ears covered. I'm like, you're not gonna hear anything.
When I was a kid, unless it was like an extended sex scene, it was pretty much whatever. Put it on. I famously tell the story my grandfather took me to Starship Troopers in the theater. There's that whole shower sequence. I'm like, am I allowed to be watching this?
He's like, shut up and eat your fucking popcorn. No, I don't know.
He was having a great time.
Ours is mostly violence. Violence is the thing. I'm like, dude, it's fake. It's fake. Titties, I can't it's titties.
Yeah.
Those could be fake too, but they are actually there usually.
Especially
the substance. They're faking the substance. I know that for sure.
Oh, Margaret
there
Qualley's,
you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the best special effects I've seen in forever. I'm like, those look so real. How did they do it?
Touch.
I just want to touch. I love
she can't not touch.
I love when the actual event happens and everything just starts going haywire. Things are coming alive that shouldn't be. The realm of reality just changes completely, and they're losing their shit.
You trying to throw the computer out the window?
Yeah. He just throws it out the window.
And then they look down they fall down and they see that the doll's gone. And they're like, oh shit. And then they look at the door, and I love the effect of the door pulsating.
Yeah.
You're like, that's cool. And then it explodes and you get that pink haze. And who shows up but Kelly LeBrock. Oh my God.
Fine as hell. Holy shit. I remember that. I think that's what got me to keep watching as a kid. I'm like, this is kind of stupid with all the and then she walked in. I'm like, I'll watch a little bit more. I'll see where this goes.
And I like how she's like, okay, what do we do first? And the first thing they do is take a shower with her.
Maniac. She's like, what do you maniacs want to do first?
And they just stand in the shower with her. Yeah.
With their clothes on, they're terrified of her.
Oh, they're enjoying the show. They're enjoying it. They're terrified of what just happened, but they're enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Should we be liking this?
But it's weird. She can read their mind. She knows everything about them, which is cool.
She's
super
terrified.
smart.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that she's able to do in this movie is wild. It's things I was watching and going, what? I don't even remember any of this.
I think she picks up early. She's like, I'm too much woman for these two dweebs. I gotta help them find other girls. They won't be able to handle me. I gotta train them. Even though they have the powers of a god and they can just go around do whatever they want, they're like, I gotta help these two boys out. I've been alive for 5 seconds. Even I know they're fucked. I gotta help them.
Yeah, she's like, we need to go do something. We need to go party, and they rush and they get like suits on. One of them's wearing Chet's suit. But then they walk out the door, and I love how the electricity hits them and it changes their suits completely. And she's wearing like that pink, like it looks like a prom dress. It doesn't look good. I mean, she looks good, but I don't know. So, and then they hop into what looks like Barbie's convertible. Like she comes from a Barbie
Cadillac.
Doll. Yeah.
It's like a 59, 58 Cadillac.
Yeah.
Hey, Barbie had all the vehicles. Just saying.
She did.
I'm like, where'd you get this car? She's like, I made it. Like, she just make things.
Yeah, because they think that she stole it.
Yeah.
She's like, nope. I just, I get what I want. Like, I'm not going to question this because I just watched a Barbie doll turn into a human. So the questions are getting thrown out. They go to a bar called the Candy Bar with a K.
You forgot. They name her.
Oh, that's right. Yes, they ask what would you like to be named? And she's like, oh, you guys decide. And they're like, Lisa. She's like, all right. And I guess the name comes from the earliest Apple computer. It was like the Apple Lisa or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's where that came from. And so they go to the Candy Bar with a K. She gets some fake IDs. I love how it's just a drawn mustache on Wyatt's ID. Like it's not even the fact that it looks real at all. And he's just like, I love 100%. How he looks at it like, So, they're trying to mingle with the patrons of the bar, and it's not a bar for that these people should be at all.
You tell me they don't blend in with this bar at all?
Listen, they're children, so yes, that's the main thing. But then it gets really weird when Gary is so drunk that he starts talking like Richard Pryor.
Like, comes an old black man.
And to be honest, my wife looks at me and she goes, "Is he actually talking like that?" I'm like, "That's him. Like he's doing that."
Let me tell you what she said to me. Okay. And then the guy who's sitting next to him, he popped up in a couple John Hughes movies. God damn it, I need to find his name. He's the black guy with the voice like this, the heavyset dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's in the beginning of Roadhouse. He's the bum. Huh?
Oh no, he's Roadhouse.
It was Roadhouse. Yes. He's the bum in the beginning of Roadhouse that Patrick Swayze gives his car to. And he's also, I think, in the beginning of Terminator, Bill Paxton also in that movie. I think he's the bum who sees Arnold show up in Terminator. That guy just had a cool, raspy voice. And they would
was it the bum or was it the garbage guy? Because I thought the bum saw Kyle Reese show up.
Oh, he might have been the garbage guy. Garbage guy. Sorry. I cannot remember his name now, though. But yes, every time I hear that guy's voice, I just think of RoboCop when he goes, or RoboCop, Roadhouse when he just goes, "What do I sound like? I'm valet." He's so
his name is Chino Williams.
Is that his name? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess
you did say the truck driver from Terminator, right?
Right.
Yeah,
He's the truck driver. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this derelict in Roadhouse, so I think it's the right guy.
Yeah.
So Anthony Michael Hall and John Hughes actually watched a lot of Richard Pryor, comedy. And this is where Anthony Michael Hall gets the voice. Like it was kind of like a tribute to him.
Richard Pryor doesn't sound like that.
He doesn't sound like this at all.
He doesn't.
It was like, I don't know if it was like a voice that Pryor would do in his comedy to like talk like somebody else, but I was like, this doesn't sound like Richard Pryor at all. I've heard it many times.
As someone who had to listen to a lot of Richard Pryor lately, it doesn't sound like Richard Pryor. It sounds like an old black jazz guy. It just doesn't sound like Richard Pryor. Let me tell you what you did to me. I'm just like, by the way, the guys in the bar are loving it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where I think in any other movie, if this was happening, they would they'd all get pissed off and they'd want to fight the guy. But the fact that they're all like enjoying, they're just watching this drunk ass kid just talking. Just for one, the conversation that he's having is more awkward than him with the voice. Yeah. He's talking about how his true, because they all think he's old enough, but he's talking about his crush from 8th grade, and they're like, 8th grade? Ooh. Like, how old is that? This is getting weird.
And she turned him down and maybe used a slur and then kicked him in the balls, apparently.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, he talks about like 8th grade, and he's like, "Yeah, big old titties," and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, I was saying 8th grade. Like, what the fuck, dude?
What is happening? Oh no!
I don't think he's ever seen big boobs before, or else
No.
Lisa would look very
No.
different.
So they have a wild drive home because Lisa doesn't feel like driving. So Wyatt's driving. He's also drunk. And they're just flying down the street. I love how cops never show up. Like,
No.
Till the very end.
yeah. Yes. And he's all nervous because he's got to deal with Chet because Chet's home.
Ooh.
And this is when you finally meet Chet, and he's a prick.
Mm-hmm.
Calls him all sorts of names and pretty much bribes him that, I'm going to tell mom and dad about, the condition you're in. And I was like, well, what do you want, Chet? And he's like, $175 in my wallet by 7 a.m. And Bill Paxton's haircut is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like long on the sides, but it's like this weird, like just top cut, which is, it's awful. Bill Paxton came up with the haircut himself, and he didn't even tell John Hughes he was doing it. And then when he came to set, he was afraid that John Hughes was going to fire him because of the haircut, but he loved it. So it's in the movie.
I remember Chet being in the movie a lot more. And then upon rewatching, I'm like, wow, I misremember that. He's just kind of in and out of this thing.
I forgot Bill Paxton was in this movie.
Oh, no, I can't forget him because he turns into that frog thing at the end.
Yeah.
I remember the frog thing, but I forgot that it was him. This is where we get the weird, the kissing scene between Lisa and Wyatt. It's just uncomfortable. Like, I understand what she's trying to do, but it's still weird knowing that he's actually a kid. It's just weird. And again, this is another scene where I'm just like, I'm not sold on this dude's acting. Like, he's just not selling it for me. Like, he's just so bland. And I'm just not enjoying myself anytime he's on screen.
I wish we could go back in time, put RDJ in that role.
Yes.
I think it would have worked way better.
Swap him.
Yeah. I think it
that would have been good.
Yeah.
So the Exorcist theme starts playing in this next scene when they wake up in the morning.
Excuse me. It's not just
it's the tubular bells, isn't it?
It's called the tubular bells. It was used for The Exorcist, but it is its own thing. Thank you very much.
No, I know what it is. I actually have it as the tubular bells in my notes, but I was like, is the Exorcist theme playing right now? Because that's what it's synonymous with. It's The Exorcist. No one listens to that song and goes, oh my God, you want to listen to the tubular bells with me? Like, no, you want to listen to the Exorcist
They
theme?
do. They grew up watching the Pure Moods soundtrack commercial in the 90s.
Oh.
Pure Moods.
You remember that one?
I remember.
It was time to go to bed.
He's like, and the time the sound of the tubular bells. That's part of
It's such a like, I can't think of anything other than The Exorcist when I hear it. It's so weird. But it was so weird because it's so faint in the background. Like when they're having the conversation and you're just like, what is that? What I think it is?
Is that The Exorcist?
What is happening? And they wake up and they're like, was everything that happened yesterday a dream? And then Wyatt gets up to go to the bathroom and he's wearing Lisa's outfit when she was made.
Yep.
And he doesn't take it off because we get the scene with Chet.
Chet is very disturbed by this and very mad about it.
Hey, he fits in them underwear.
I do love the fact that Chet doesn't know about Lisa. And so like she always disappears when Chet seems to show up. And of course, Chet's wearing a towel. I'm sorry. Even in my own house, I'm not walking around my house in just a towel. It's not happening.
Hey, stop pointing me out.
I wasn't pointing you out. I was agreeing with you. I was like, see? I was going to say, like, yes, like that's not what you do.
The towel is to dry off, and then I put my clothes on in the bathroom.
I have a robe. No, I have a
robe. So, Chet continues to give him shit, but then he sees the outfit he's wearing, and he pulls him back in. He's just like, what? He's like, what are you wearing? He's like, this is going to affect your life forever. It's like, you're wearing women's underwear.
This is like the only time he seems like legit concerned for his brother.
Well, yeah.
Like, he legitimately. He's like,
for the wrong reasons, though, because you know why he's afraid.
for God's sake, cover yourself up. And he takes his
Towel off
he's
and it's just bare ass.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, like Chet, like it's like, oh, it's finally a Chet cares moment, but then you're thinking about it going, oh, Chet just cares because he doesn't want his brother to be gay. Like that's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Chet still sucks.
Yes.
Again,
and honestly, if we remade this today, it would be me and Joey C in that scene. I'd be like, "What are you doing, Joey? Stop dressing like that.
Stop wearing your skirts, damn it."
I think Joey's actually posted a picture of himself looking like Lisa when she first gets made. I swear, it's probably out there.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have
You just willed into existence.
I'm gonna have to make a phone call after this.
I think I'm gonna message Joey right now and be like, I need a Lisa cosplay for promotion.
Look. I'm trying to get into the manosphere part of YouTube. We're trying to be very toxic males over here. And Joey C keeps messing up my plans constantly.
Because secretly he doesn't want you to be part of that group, Joey. Once you enter that group, it's hard to get you out.
There's money to be made there. I could be the next Andrew Tate. What are you talking about?
Oh, no. We're cutting that. That name does not belong in this show.
I'll teach you how to get girls. We're not getting girls. You actually don't want girls. And you.
Oh, God. It's all satire, ladies and gentlemen. All satire.
But see, Chet would get turned into Grimace at the end instead of.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
Why would he turn into Grimace?
That is perfect. Oh, man. So they go to the mall, and I go, oh, man, I miss the mall. And they're at...
Actually, the mall I was at today was more lively than I would expect. I think it's one of the only malls around here that is somewhat still functional. There's a lot of closed stores, but it was also a little active.
Our local mall is closed. I think the closest mall to me is like 45 minutes. And it's pretty active. But then, like, you have to go to, like, Albany, New York, and that's got the big, like, active mall.
Yeah. The one near me is 12 minutes away. The theater and the Barnes and Noble, I think, is keeping that thing going. But now there's new ownership, so they're like putting new stuff. There's a church in there. Like,
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
sounds about right for here. We have churches everywhere.
I guess people are just like, wow, you know what? It's actually easy to rent space at a dead mall than build a church. Let's just have the church at the mall.
Dude, like I don't know how it is up in the Northeast, but like they're fucking everywhere. If you find an empty structure, they will stuff a church.
You're in the South. That makes sense.
The movie theater.
Movie theater, trailers, just random old brick buildings.
I don't know what
fields.
I don't know what denomination it is, but I thought that was so surreal. I'm like, that used to be I don't know, Forever 21. And
yeah.
Our we had a Regal theater in our mall, and that was the only thing keeping the mall like open. Yeah. Like the mall was closed, but you had to go into the mall to get to the theater. And then the plumbing for the theater was off of the mall, and there was a plumbing issue, and they were just like, nope, we're shutting down. And so the movie theater got shut down. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Whenever you watch old movies like this, it's like, with very few exceptions, I'm sure they're in around the country. There are like really active malls in certain areas. But with very few exceptions, we're never going to see like a mall like this so casually again.
Oh no. Which sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah. I know.
These kids the kids nowadays can't experience the wonders of wandering around the mall on a Friday night, for hours upon hours, not buying anything. You're just walking around the mall.
No, we have Walmarts for that now.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
It's not.
It's not even close. I worked at Walmart for a long time, and I hated when freaking teenagers would just go in and walk around the damn store. Get out of here.
No,
buy
they
something.
don't even walk around here. They sit in the parking lot in their cars and they drive around town, and then they come back and get kicked out again, and they drive around and come back.
That's the thing to do.
Are they TikToking in there?
Probably now.
I went to the theater. I walked out of the theater, and this girl was like doing a TikTok dance by herself, and I totally ruined it. Because I was in the background, and I like waved, and she like caught me doing it. I'm like, oh, sorry. Thought it was really funny.
When we went to Gatlinburg for our anniversary, the two girls that were dancing, I was just like, as we walked by.
Oh, no, I'd be the guy going like,
yeah. Anyone who does a TikTok, I try in public, I try to get in it. I'm like, hi, and they're like, oh,
oh, now I got to redo it. This old boomer just came into my
The
video.
old guy just came
Oh, I thought this was a community event. I'm sorry.
It's in public.
Yeah, you're inviting us along. I mean,
It's like
But
it's
anyway,
like people
Paul.
it's like people who record in gyms and they get mad when people walk in front of their cameras. Like you're in a public gym. That's what
I
happens,
know.
pal. Dumbass. Now I gotta figure out what the hell I am. Oh yeah, they're getting scents. They're gonna buy some perfume or cologne. Are they buying cologne or perfume?
I think
think-
it's perfume.
I think it's perfume because they're buying 3 bottles because they're buying one for each,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, and a third for you to the sales girl.
Oh, right.
the
and
one
she's
bottle
just like,
that won't
oh.
stop.
Yeah.
He just
He's
keeps.
just like puts it down. Oh, stop.
But they're feeling pretty good about themselves.
Oh yes,
Yep.
but the best scene is the next one where Lisa's buying the smallest thong possible, and she's talking to the sales lady. She was like an old lady.
Well, this again, if they made this movie today,
Oh,
the
it's
cops
so
would
what she
release
says is so.
this turned on a 15-year-old boy. The old lady's like, "What?"
She's
And then-
like,
and
"Do
then
you have a
she-
bra that matches this?"
It made out of leather or rubber or like
or
I'm like,
barbed wire. I
I
was like,
love
what
it.
the
What?
hell?
I love her response. She's like, "No."
just like, come on, get out.
Are you playing jokes right
Oh
now?
my god. This is when we get the slushy scene with
Ooh.
Max and Ian when they're with their girlfriends Deb and Hilly.
Yeah.
And they pour the slushy on top of Gary and Wyatt. And again, Wyatt doesn't react to this. You actually can see him trying to hide laughter. He's actually trying
Yeah.
not to laugh in this scene
Yes.
where Anthony Michael Hall is the only one who actually reacts like you should react if somebody dumped a slushy on your head. You could definitely tell who was the more seasoned actor in this scene.
Yeah.
Ian and Max, they try to get Lisa. They see her, and they literally like beeline to her.
After the girls are thinking of breaking up with them,
Yes.
they like beg for them back, and then they just see Lisa on an escalator. They're like, "All right, get out, broads. We're going after that lady
Yeah.
now." They just take
Yep.
off.
leave, bitches.
In the original cut of the movie, the Weird Science song plays over this scene, but in the HD version, it's Pretty Woman from Van Halen,
Okay.
sung by David Lee Roth. So we had to get that little tie-in. So, they're following Lisa, and Lisa gets out to the front of the mall, and Gary drives up in his new Porsche. And no one's going to question the fact that a 15-year-old has a Porsche or is driving.
Yeah,
Like,
very expensive. at the
They're
time,
just
928s.
yeah, they're just shocked that Gary is with Lisa because they like kiss in the front seat. And
Oh
I'm just
no,
like,
no. They don't kiss. She's talking to him, and he's licking
He's
the
like-
collar on her jacket. It's so weird.
flavored.
but I just love how Ian and Max are just like, what the hell? And you're like, you're not going to question the fact that this kid has a Porsche? Where did he get it from? That's like no questions asked in this movie. No one questions anything. They're just like, where did this random woman come from?
So
So
she invites him to a party.
she does. She does. And we then have Lisa setting up for the party, and Wyatt doesn't want to be a part of it. Like, he doesn't want to set up for it because it's going to be at his house. And he's like, I don't want a party at my house. My parents are going to find out, and it's not going to be good for me. And I have to explain it to Chet.
Mhm.
And so Lisa then is like, well, I'm going to go visit Gary's parents, which is the fucking best. And you just stay here, and I'll be right back. She goes to Gary's parents. This is so funny. So Britt Leach plays Al Wallace. I'm trying to think. I recognize him from. He was in a
He-
Tales from the Crypt episode.
I've
He
been
was in
watching a lot of that
Ladybird.
recently.
He was in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
That's it. He was the store owner. Yeah,
Got
so the
you.
toy store
Okay.
owner.
Damn.
That's it.
I know who
That's
you're
where I
talking about
recognized
now,
him
yep.
from. But he was in like Last Starfighter, The Great Outdoors,
Love that
which was
movie.
another John Hughes movie. And his last uncredited role was in Father of the Bride.
He
actually
was in
died
Sanford
in-
and Son.
Oh no, he's still alive. He's 86. He stopped acting in 91. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm
Um,
not.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
They-
this conversation is hilarious. It's literally Lisa trying to tell Gary's parents, like, he's going to this party. You're not gonna be able to stop him. And they're like, and Gary's dad is just like, I don't know who you are, but it's not happening. Like, he's 15 years old and you're a grown ass woman. And she's like, I don't care what you do. He's gonna leave with me. And it just goes back and forth to the point where Gary leaves with her.
Yeah. I love that he like went in there thinking they were gonna like come up with like some lie, and she's just like, no, I'm gonna tell him the truth.
Yeah, that's her thing. She's honest about everything.
Yes.
She does not lie about anything.
She rarely will lie or mislead, but she's like brutally honest.
My favorite though is like, she's like, when's the last time you were proud of your son, that you told him he did a good job? And Gary's like, Mom, I've always told you that I would always get embarrassed if you told me I did a good job at something. Like, he's trying to defend himself from Lisa. But
Well, how does he? What do they refer to jerking off as? They said.
I have
tossing off.
tossing off.
Like, I've never
So
heard it
fucking
referred to
good.
as that.
Oh, I love it where it's like you're tossing off to those magazines, and it's like, what's that about tossing off?
Like, I don't even know what that is. I've never tossed off to anything.
You said you were reading or whatever. Or you were in the shower.
Is that why the water's always on? And she pulls a gun on Gary's dad. It's his big old revolver.
We learned that she doesn't have to do this, by the way. We learned this in a little bit.
It's so dramatic. And I love when she's like, go ahead. And dad just goes, make your day. And so Gary's driving back with Lisa, and Gary's freaking out because he thinks, I'm going to be grounded till I'm 41. I'm never going to be able to do anything. And she's like, no, you don't have to worry about it. And then it goes back to his parents and the mom, and they're just like, do you know what happened back then? Like, I'm trying to remember what just happened. And it's like, and the dad's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, about Gary. Who's Gary?
Yeah,
And
the
it's
rest of the movie, he has no idea he has a son. Just totally.
That's my-
erased
I love when it
his
cuts back and she's got the picture in his face, like, it's our son, Gary.
My favorite bit's later when they drive by. Look, it's Gary, and he's like, who is this Gary person? And I'm like, it's my favorite running gag of this whole fucking movie.
Oh god. So the whole town shows up for the party. Like, literally the whole town shows up for this party. And Ian and Max show up. It's funny because, like, you think they're like the more popular kids, but I just think, like, I'd never see them talking to anybody else other than themselves.
No. Yeah. And the girls, and that's
And
it.
their girlfriends. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wyatt and Gary are hiding in the bathroom. Doing what? They're just nervous to go out and into the party. Yeah. Like, it's mostly Wyatt, but you could tell that Gary's also like, we're not popular. Like, we're the losers. Like, this is weird.
Mm.
And Ian and Max, they order drinks, and I love when they order drinks from the guy, and the guy threatens them, the bartender.
Yeah.
He's like, how about I shove that bottle all the way up your ass? Because he asked for the whole bottle.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, oh no, just a glass. It's like, yeah, that's what I thought. They show Max. He's wearing this. What's on his hand? He's wearing this like weird banded thing on his hand. It has like a square metal bracelet thing. I was like,
I didn't make a note. I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice this either.
It was weird. I'll try to put a clip in the video, but I was like, what is this?
This Michael Jackson glove era were people just putting weird?
But it wasn't a
things on their
glove.
hand?
It was like
something
it was like a
weird, though.
leather strap around the wrist, and then it would like fan over the fingers, and then there was like a metal ring that was in the middle of the back of his hand. It was weird. I don't know.
Their outfits are all over the place in this film.
I love how their hairdo matches though.
Yeah.
Like the same exact hairdo. So Wyatt and Gary,
I think Ian has like a Lou Reed pin on his jacket at one point. It's so bizarre.
He didn't choose that. Oh, did you guys hear the story of the Robert Downey Jr. like threatened to defecate in somebody's trailer? Like, he went around like saying he was going to shit in someone's trailer during the production
I'm
of this
pretty
movie.
sure it was.
So supposedly it was Kelly LeBrock's, but then he later
Yeah.
confessed that it wasn't hers. It was some other
Ah.
actress's.
Eh,
He just went in there.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking to myself, did he shit in the toilet, or do you like just go into the middle of the trailer and just take a shit?
Yeah,
like
that's probably he's shitting on the floor. I mean,
he's just pulling an Amber Heard.
Maybe. Jeez.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr., this was the start of that. Well, actually, he had probably already been dabbling in substance abuse. So,
Oh, for sure.
yeah. And it went on for a very long time.
Mhm.
So Deb and Hilly go up to the bathroom and they run into Gary and Wyatt. And, everybody's it's like a meet cute, everybody's having a good time and they think they're going to hook up with them. They're like, I love their little meeting in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go, they finally determine that they're going to do it. And they look over the shower curtain and it's just two other girls there.
Two random nerdy girls.
They're like, not what we were planning.
Although those guys really do strike out a lot. I'm like, well, give
Yeah.
girls a chance, guys. You can't really get much better. Come on.
So Hilly and Deb, they go back downstairs and they run into Lisa.
And Lisa wingman's wingman's super hard for them. She's like, I recommend you get on the shower with them. It's amazing. It hurts so good.
It hurts so good.
She's like really hyping them up. I'm like, I need a wingman like that. Jesus Christ, my wingmen are awful. My friends are terrible at wingman, and I need a Lisa in my life.
I wouldn't even know how to be a wingman. So I love that it cuts over to Wyatt's grandparents just having a dinner. Like, we should really go visit our grandson.
I feel bad that he's alone.
Yes, we should go pay him a visit. It's so fancy. Ian and Max, they make up to Wyatt and Gary because that they feel that's their chance to be able to get with Lisa, is to become friends with them. Not really how it's going to work, but
no,
they try really hard because it was like, okay, so we're friends now, right? We made up, so can we have Lisa? And they're like, no, like
no.
She was made for us, so yeah, it's gonna be that way. And then this is where we get the picture, the mom, Gary's mom, showing Gary's dad the picture of him. Like, Gary, our son Gary. So Wyatt and Gary, they show Ian and Max the computer because they're like, okay, well, you can't have Lisa, but maybe we can make you somebody else. We can make you somebody for you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't go according to plan because I do love though that they do the process and like everything is happening, like things are going haywire. This is where you get like the house like completely exploding.
Going nuts.
Yeah,
the kitchen turns blue.
Yeah,
inexplicably.
Yes.
And this is where you get the girl at the piano.
Sucked up the.
So she was a Playboy model. She was literally cast just to do this.
Of course.
Yeah. Because you get titties in this scene. Like you see her titties in this. Yeah.
Thankfully. Yes.
Yeah. And so I guess there was certain parts of the scene that had to be filmed in reverse because they initially filmed it and then Anthony Michael Hall like laughed during a shot.
No.
Or reacted.
He farted.
Oh, that's right.
Right as it started. I read that and I was like, what?
So they couldn't afford to do it again. So they just were like, okay, well, I guess we'll just have to reverse the footage and make it work. Thought that was pretty good. So I love though that during the entire process, Ian and Max are like terrified. They're like hiding under the desk, but Gary and Wyatt are just like chilling. They all have the bras on their heads.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything's fine.
They all match. I want to know what mom had 4 matching bras. Just saying.
Right? They're all the same. There's no variety.
Exact same type of bra.
There's no variety here. Then they find out, oops, we forgot something because they think that the process worked, but then it turns out it's Lisa. And she's like, you forgot a step. And they're like, we didn't put a doll We didn't connect the doll.
Instead, it's on top of a magazine that just has a picture of a nuclear warhead.
It just starts going. Oh no, this is what they had to shoot in reverse, was the rocket coming through the floor.
Okay.
Because this is where Anthony Michael Hall farted, and so they had to do it in reverse. It wasn't
because it cost a lot of money.
Yes. I love that Wyatt's grandparents show up and he's like kicking him out. Just like hitting him with his hat. Get out of here.
The grandmother looked so familiar. I don't see her credited on here, though. I'm going to keep looking it up.
So unrealistic, dude. Old people would be asleep by now. They would not just show the fuck up for a party. Nobody does that.
That is very true. Actually, no, I'm interested to see who the grandparents were.
I like couldn't find their. I don't see anything saying why. I see Wyatt's parents, but not grandparents.
The grandmother wasn't really in anything.
Okay, then never mind. Then she's
I was
the one that
she looks familiar though.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up by photos.
She looks like somebody who would show up in a Seinfeld episode.
It's Ann Coyle and Ivor Berry.
Ann with an E or Ann with an A?
Ann with a ANN.
Just N. Oh, okay, I see it now.
No.
Let me see if anything sticks out to me here. Nope, never mind.
Oh,
sorry for wasting your time. She just looked very, very familiar.
Not at all.
The grandfather was in an episode of Punky Brewster.
Okay,
that's it. No, he's gonna.
I knew her from somewhere. Back in my Punky Brewster days.
But
he was the Dukes of Hazzard. A-Team.
Single episodes. He's in 4 episods of Days of Our Lives.
Everybody's done more episodes.
Yeah.
Joey Tribbiani was in that show. Fictional character from Friends.
Yes, he was. Fantasy Island.
The TV series.
I know, I'm just saying.
I love when the grandparents show up and they kick all the people out and they're like, "We do not stand for baloney."
Yes.
I had to write that down. Such a good line. And they meet Lisa, and Lisa, of course, works her magical charm. It's like, you can't, like, you're just going to come in here uninvited, start hitting people with your hat. They're like, "We are the grandparents. This is our daughter's home. We can do whatever we want." And she's like, "Please come to the new blue kitchen."
Yeah, come to our very blue kitchen.
Let me show you something. And then Wyatt, it's like, "Wyatt, your grandparents are here." He goes downstairs, something. The cupboard, and they're just frozen in place. Are they dead? No, they'll be okay.
They're just resting.
Their smiles on their face.
And I was like, what?
This feels like a scene from like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she just like turns the house into a Mad Max set. Like she just like she sends the what's it? What was the guy? Vernon Wells, who played Lord General, who is actually in Mad Max 2.
Yes.
As like the same guy, like he was the same character.
He was Lord Humongous's like right-hand man, I think.
Yeah. But I literally watched the scene going, these are like just Mad Max characters. Then I looked it up. That he was literally a Mad Max character. But we had Michael Berryman, of course, because if you're gonna do some sort of like post-apocalyptic character, you gotta have Michael Berryman. And I don't know who there was a couple other guys. There was the guy who was like a two-faced dude. He had like the metal
the one
face.
was like a cyborg, which I feel like didn't fit the theme.
And then there was the one who was with Lord General, who was like on the leash. It was the one woman. So yeah, so they're just driving around on their dirt bikes and causing ruckus, and then they square off with Gary
Lisa's
and Wyatt.
Trying to get them to confront them to be like brave in front of everyone to make them look good. Like Lisa's controlling it, but yeah, she wants them to look good in front of all their friends, but they're afraid to face the guys.
I love they're hiding in the closet, and then they he literally rips him through the wall. But and then they do though. They square up on him. They put the gun in his face. They tell him they're gonna kick his ass, and he's just like, "All right, well, we're gonna go now."
And then Michael Berryman, I love when he's just like, "Could we please not tell anyone about this? And I don't want it to affect my teaching job."
Yes.
Like a normal dude all of a sudden.
I love the girl though. The girl on the leash, she's just like, I just wanted to say you have a very nice home. Oh, so yeah, that was good. So,
Mm.
I had the Michael Berryman quote here. Wyatt and Hilly chat, and then Gary and Deb chat, and then they both end up hooking up with each other.
Mm.
And this is when Chet comes home, and of course, this is like unlike most movies where like there's a huge party and like the parents come home and the house is fine. No, Chet comes home, the house is a disaster. Like it's just destroyed, and
Hey,
he is
he's ready to murder his brother and the woman in his bed.
Yes.
because he literally comes home from hunting. He literally has like a dead duck in his hand, and he goes upstairs with the gun. I just love it. He's just like, Lord, please make sure if my room is fine, then I will spare him.
Yeah.
And he walks into his room, and it's just snowing.
It's normal.
And then he goes down to I think, who does he confront first? Does he go to Gary? I think it's Gary and the girl he's with.
Yep.
And this is
Because
because I love it. This is where he bonks him, and I love the sound that it makes. Like, like bonks him
hit
both.
the boy, but don't hit the girl.
He
He hits her
pushes
too.
her in the nose. He's like, Chet, that's her nose. He's like, I don't care. And then he goes to Wyatt, and he does the same thing that he did before, where he threatens him to the point where he's like, "What do you want, Chet?" I can't remember, what does he say that he wants this time? Can't remember what the bribe was.
It's something about like money wouldn't do it. It's too much. It's too far. Something
Oh, it was like his soul. Oh, what do you want? My Social Security? Do you want my, my college fund? He's like, sounds like a good idea.
Can't remember the specific thread. It's something like that, though.
But the great thing about the scene right before he goes to see Wyatt is when he leaves Gary, he says, "I'll be back," which 100% it was because of Terminator. It had to be.
Featuring Bill Paxton.
In one of his like earliest roles. I think it was like one of his first roles.
Yeah.
So Gary runs away from the cops. He literally takes his car. They each take their own cars with the girls they're with, and they ride away. And then we see Gary, like flying, and she's like, "Hey, how fast you going?" "Oh, I don't know, 35." And he looks down. He's like, "Oh, it doesn't say that." He's going like 100.
Look at his tack. He's going 3,500 RPM.
Yeah.
Like, he must not be shifting at all.
Just keeps going. But yeah, he runs away from the cops. I love that it's the whole train thing. Like he's able to cross the train tracks before the train shows up, and then the cops get cut off. And I love the cop who like gets out of his car and he just bangs the top. Oh darn, I didn't get him. But this is when they drive by Gary's parents.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Gary.
Gary.
Who's Gary? He's a snail.
Yes, Gary the snail.
Wyatt brings, which one is he with? He's with Suzanne Snyder, right? Is he with Deb?
I think so.
He's with the blonde. So that's no, he's with Hilly. He's with the brunette.
Yeah. Yes.
So he gets there back to her house, and you get the whole thing where when Lisa was teaching Wyatt how to like make out, she like grabs his ass, and he does like the same thing. And she's like,
so he learned.
He did. She taught him something. And that's the whole point. We're getting there. We're getting what the true meaning of this movie is.
Yes, grabbing asses.
Yeah, that's it. That's the number one lesson you get.
Yep.
Only consent. That's the important word. It's the
respectfully grab the ass.
So
I disrespectfully grab yours.
Well, yeah, when you're married, it's
so it's okay.
I just grabbed it while you guys were talking about it.
See, this is inappropriate. I was no consent, nothing.
Unless they yell at you for it, and it's not okay. My favorite thing is the fact that Wyatt is that guy who says "I love you" to a girl he's been with for a day, or not even a day, like 8 hours.
Yeah.
I bet he hasn't like known her. Hasn't known her that long either.
Well, he said, "Oh yeah, I know you from school, but we've never actually met before." Because they were the losers, right? They
literally talked to her for like several hours, and that's it.
Yeah. And did they do anything? Who knows?
I don't know.
Right in the
I
butt.
like that he gets hit with the sprinkler. Like he's just sitting there and all the sprinklers turn
Yeah.
on and just like
In his
Doesn't
oversized
phase, he just
suit.
takes it.
yeah.
Maybe it'll cause it to shrink. It'll fit better.
Yeah, man. Gary is very honest with Deb. He pretty much tells her like everything that you've seen is not real. Like it's just something to make us look cool, and I want to be me. Like that's the whole point. I don't want to be somebody else. I want to be my true self, with you. Do you want to be with me if I'm like that? And she's like, sure. At least I don't have to date those two creeps anymore. Which one? I don't remember which one they were with. I can't remember who was with who.
I could never tell which one was with who.
But so they drive back to the house, and they both get together and like, yeah, we got to talk to Lisa about the situation. And as soon as they say that and they walk away, the cars disappear, which means like the reality that Lisa, of course, knows everything that's happening. So as soon as she's realizing, okay, they're learning their lesson, they're actually listening, then the facade has to go away.
Except what's his face is a frogman now.
Oh my God, when she talks to when she talks to Chet, and because originally, he's like interrogating them, and Lisa's kind of casually back there like, why do you gotta be a dick, Chet? Yeah, and then Lisa sends him off, and then she has a conversation with Chet, and Chet doesn't want to listen, so she turns him into this like Pizza the Hut character.
Yeah.
Yep.
With Bill Paxton's voice. It's so good.
Yeah. But I think at this point when they're coming home, she agrees that she'll like turn him back, and he's like, "You want to shake on it?" And she's like, "No,
because he's a turd monster. He's a shit monster."
But then he's just like, "What? I thought you were going to turn me back." She's like, "It takes a while to wear off."
Oh my God. So they have their talk with Lisa, and this is their like goodbye. Lisa is pretty much like, I wasn't created to be like your woman or your perfect woman. I was here to help you get your perfect woman, to get a real woman. And so, she was just there to be a teacher, and in a weird way, like a lot of it is very uncomfortable.
Hands on.
Yeah.
Very.
And she just disappears. And I guess during the filming of this scene, John Hughes actually cried.
Aww.
This was a very sad scene for him.
It was an emotional scene.
It was
She's
good.
like, you guys grew up so fast.
Yeah. I've only known you for like 2 days.
And also, I'm 2 days old.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I have the knowledge of Beethoven and Einstein in my head.
Hell yeah.
I wish this scene ended like Poochie on The Simpsons. Yeah, I'm a space alien and my people need me. I just gotta.
Poochie died of the way. Poochie's dead.
Yeah. I forgot to mention another great part where during the conversation Chet has with Lisa, he opens up the pantry to find his grandparents in there, but he doesn't realize, oh, hey, Grandpappy. And so he shuts it and he's like, are those my grandparents in there? And he also does the same thing. Are they dead? No. But yeah, once Lisa disappears, it's like Jumanji happens. Like you just finished the board game. Everything reverts back to normal.
So much reverse photography.
Yes.
So much.
And then I love Chet when he changes back into his normal form. He's just like,
he's just like frozen. He's like,
oh my God.
After he's eaten the fly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I love when he eats the fly and then he's disappointed in himself. He's like, oh. And yeah, the parents show up just in time for the house to be completely back to normal. And yeah, the guys are just like, yeah, we just had a normal weekend. And I love how Chet just doesn't show up. Like he's just done. It's no more Chet.
Yeah.
I guess
through a lot.
Had enough.
I guess in an original cut, it actually didn't, it never made it into the final film, but there was a scene that was filmed of Ian and Max actually getting turned into like a donkey and some other animal as like their punishment for being bullies.
Okay.
Yeah. But I guess it was filmed, but it just did. I guess it didn't fit. because
I
the
see
fact
they-
that
Oh.
when Lisa disappears, everything goes back to normal. Where I guess this was
Mm.
supposed to be like, no, they were going to be like this forever.
Nah. Yeah, he didn't need it.
Oh, and that falls in place with one of my favorite quotes from Chet.
Oh, is it the
You two donkey dicks couldn't get laid in a morgue.
what's the one about eating? It's like eating a sausage sandwich out of an ashtray or something
Oh.
like that.
Yeah.
Which it was.
Oh yeah.
He says it to Wyatt when he wakes up because he's hungover, and I guess that was something that Bill Paxton's dad would say to him when he was hungover.
Yes. Yes.
Keep the legacy alive.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then the end of the movie is Lisa's now a gym teacher at
Yep.
a school. I don't think it's their school. It's a school.
No, it's a different school.
Yeah.
Thus
And,
proving
yeah.
she's a sexual predator.
She had to find a new place to go to.
Yeah. She doesn't have her shoes tied. And she tells them to drop and give her 20, and they all like hit their heads and just pass out.
Yep.
And we get the final version of Weird Science. The entire time I'd hear this song, all I could think of was the Ninja Turtles song.
It does have a similar. It has a very similar
Yeah.
feel as the
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles song was way later, but yeah.
Well, yeah, there was, but I feel like whoever made that song literally listened to Weird Science was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna take the
Make it
beats from
sound like
this.
Weird Science.
Yeah, we're just not gonna have words. And that's it. That is 1985's Weird Science.
Are you looking for a movie podcast with deep dives, interviews, and thoughtful film analysis?
We ain't got none of that. What do we got?
You want to hold the bucket?
Right, I'll hold the bucket, sit in the
I'll
cuff
just stand
chair.
there with my. I will never blink. I'll just be there holding the bucket.
I will
like,
never blink on her drapes, most likely. You look like a drape jizzer. R.I.P. that sweet, sweet pussy. It is known that Jessica Tandy had the sweetest pussy in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google it. Don't Google Jessica Tandy's pussy, you guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. Doom Generation. Available anywhere you find podcasts.
If it's dark, twisted, and mysterious, then I want to dissect every possible explanation as to why it is. I want to understand the dark psychology of the most dangerous serial killers, from the day they were born to the moment they snapped. I want to examine every cryptic conspiracy, and even delve into the haunted paranormal. Join me, Ashley Lana, as I explore the obscure. This is Lullaby the Fear podcast. Sweet dreams are made of these.
Holds up. It holds up well.
Okay, well, I was just about to jump over to Tony for his final thoughts, but he's already answered
ahead.
his final
Sorry.
thoughts.
He's ahead of
That's
it.
Good, you're good.
It holds up well. I mean, I guess some things are dated, but I was entertained the whole time. I might watch it again this week. I was like, I forgot how much fun this movie is. I would have never thought to revisit it until you guys told me to do this. But yeah, it was a really good time. The comedy hits. Kelly LeBrock is gorgeous, but also her character is very fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, just a good time all around. The effects are wacky.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Angela.
Watching it the first time, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I did not watch it. It wasn't one of those that I kind of fell for.
Mm.
I was usually the one that watched Breakfast Club. I was stuff like that, which I don't know why I never watched this, but yeah.
More of a dude show.
But I
Mm.
like.
No, I'm not saying.
Like-
I'm not saying like that's like women can, but like the way it's marketed.
No, but I grew up as a tomboy. Like
Mm.
I would watch the
I
boys'
know.
shows, and I would, I didn't watch I never watched Barbie,
Never said you did.
wasn't
I'm just
into
saying.
the
I think it's a
dolls.
marketing thing.
but I still wasn't into the boobs. I mean, I have them, deal with them every day. I don't need extra. You just
Yeah,
saying.
that's the big selling point, I think, for young boys to watch this movie.
Yeah, but no, it was fun. Chet was a piece of shit, but he was a piece of shit.
Oh,
Excuse me.
he was a piece of shit.
He did.
He was
He
though. He
did
was a
have-
turn monster.
He was.
He did have some good quotes that I still remember. But yeah. What about
right, Dan.
you?
I don't know. I like that face.
No, see, this is I've been trying real fucking hard. I did not view this movie at the right time. And that's what I think it is. I think I was too old to come into this. I had no nostalgia, and I watched this movie and I was like, it did nothing for me.
I can see
Because-
that. Maybe. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I can see if you don't watch this as a teen, maybe it doesn't hit. I guess it did hit for some people, but yeah, I'd be interested to see how I would have felt if this was my first time seeing it. But anyway, sorry, keep going.
So no, you're good because like I was like looking through and I was like, is there anything by Hughes that I like? Like I had to go through and like I've not watched like any of his shit for the most part.
Oh,
Like,
Vacation.
except-
I love Vacation.
Except, yeah, see, Vacation I've never seen either. I've never seen any of them.
Not even
But-
Christmas Vacation.
No, not
even
its
actually-
entirety.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was
not
gonna
its
say
entirety.
you've seen some of Christmas
Yes,
Vacation. It's
yes.
impossible to miss it.
The only one that I've seen is that he had worked on is The Great Outdoors.
Mm.
You've
I
seen Home
fucking
Alone,
love that
haven't you?
Oh yeah, I guess Home Alone. That's true. Forgot about that. That's it. Well, it's also a Christmas themed show, so fair.
Yeah.
All right, I forgot about that one. Anywho, it just this is no.
You didn't like Flubber?
I forgot
Flubber. I
you
have
wrote
seen that too.
No, late '90s John Hughes wasn't the best. Late '90s,
Love-
2000s John Hughes
love
wasn't the
Flubber.
best.
No, it didn't do it for me, and I'm like, the whole sex appeal thing's gone because like obviously there's titties in it, but if I want to look up titties, I could just like
Flubber.
Yeah.
find titties. Like,
Yeah.
I'm married. We don't do that. We've been married for too long. It's over.
That's not me finding nothing.
Anyway, but I don't know. Like a lot of the humor didn't hit for me. There's some stuff that I did find chuckle about. I wouldn't say it was a whole waste of my time, but it just was not. It's not for me. It's like I said. I think it was just me and my cousin were talking about it yesterday, and that's the conclusion we came with. I think I was just too far on in life to enjoy this movie on my first watch, and that's fine.
You didn't like this other quote by Chet? I wouldn't give a squirt of piss for your ass right now.
No, pretty much, and he's the best part of it, in my opinion.
Chet?
I love
He is
Bill
good.
Paxton.
like not him being shit, but just I love Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
And then of course Robert Downey Jr. Like I like those two actors because I know them. But that's it. It's just like people are like, "What the fuck? You don't like this?" I'm like, not really.
I'm not
Sorry,
offended.
I
I
won't-
don't like it.
No, see, we're all reasonable. Like we might give each other shit about it, but like at the end of the day, like it's fine. It's no big deal. But like it's just not for me.
Yeah, this is it still holds up. I'm very mature, so I'll laugh at things that probably I shouldn't be laughing at as a 33-year-old man. But it still hits. I mean, it's definitely outdated in certain aspects, but I think it still holds up as a solid comedy, from the 80s. I think it's well written. I think it's other than Island Mitchell Smith, who I just could not get on board with. I think
He's
Anthony
pretty rough.
Michael Hall steals the show in this movie.
does.
Bill Paxton is a great support, but Anthony Michael Hall is just chewing up every scene he is in, and he is outperforming Island Mitchell Smith by miles. It's unreal, and Kelly LeBrock is just gorgeous, but she's also really funny. And I like when you think of like movies she's been in, like this is the staple for Kelly LeBrock.
This is the bit. I mean, look, Wrongfully Accused with Leslie Nielsen's good too, but this is the one you think of with Kelly LeBrock.
Was that The Fugitive? Like,
yeah, that was the
parody
parody. Yeah.
But if you're interested in purchasing some John Hughes movies, the one I bought for this was the John Hughes yearbook collection, which had The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and Weird Science. And then there's another one. I just throw it across the room. There was another one that had like Uncle Buck and Vacation. I got to get that one too, because that's the next question I'm going to ask you guys, because that's what I asked social media. What is your favorite John Hughes like project? Like, doesn't have to be directed by, like written or directed.
Let me bring up the list again. Hold on.
Hold, please.
I can answer
Hold,
this while they're
please.
looking. I can answer while they're looking.
Okay, yes.
Oh, you having hot dogs, huh? You know what they make those things out of, don't you? Lips and assholes. Well, what can I say? I'm old fashioned. I like assholes. Great Outdoors. He was the writer. Fucking love that movie. I've seen it a lot. And you get to see a bear get all the hair on its ass shot off. It's fucking great, dude. John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, great fucking movie.
You're not wrong. That is a great one.
Oh, I
Ooh,
love
okay.
Ferris Bueller though.
Yeah, if we're going directed by John Hughes, I'm gonna go Ferris Bueller. If we're going
Bueller.
if we go just
Bueller.
written by John Hughes, wait, did he? Oh yeah. I guess just by default it's Christmas Vacation. I feel like for me, like that's it. Like that's because I've watched it so many goddamn times. But yeah, this is good. I mean, he has a solid catalog of films up until after Home Alone, then it gets a little dicey. But yeah, 80s John Hughes is solid.
Yeah,
It's either The Breakfast Club or Ferris Bueller. I mean,
Ferris Bueller's okay. I've seen it a lot growing up, but it was never one that was like, it's fine. Ferris kind of sucks, to be honest. Like, I don't like Ferris Bueller, the character. I think he sucks. He treats his friends like shit.
everybody else.
Treats his sister like shit. I mean,
Yeah.
he
That's the
treats
cool
Jeffrey
leader.
Jones like shit, but he kind of deserves it. So, for me, I love Uncle Buck. I think it's one of John Candy's best performances, and I showed my oldest Uncle Buck a couple months ago, and he was a big fan of it, and I was very skeptical on how he was going to enjoy it, but yeah, Uncle Buck is definitely my favorite directed by John Hughes. Probably written would probably be either Christmas or the original Vacation. I love the original Vacation.
I like all of them. I really enjoyed all the I haven't seen the reboot or whatever, but all the other ones I really
It's
enjoyed.
awful. The reboot is
Things on it. I heard
awful.
mixed things about it.
I can't. I like
But-
Ed Helms to a degree.
But original to Vegas, I really liked.
I just love
Yeah.
Beverly D'Angelo. Like, it's not even Chevy Chase. It's Beverly D'Angelo. She's, for one, she's hot.
I noticed none of us has picked the John Hughes written film Dutch, starring Ed O'Neill. None of us picked Dutch.
Nope. I saw that as one of his writing credits and was like,
But
nah.
my favorite, I think Dutch like flopped at the theaters. My favorite thing about Dutch is there's an episode of Married with Children where they go to the video store and they just have a stack of Dutch tapes, but with like clearance stickers on it, and they're covering up Ed O'Neill's face with all the stickers. The joke is no one wants to rent Dutch.
That's great.
Another actor who wasn't a leading. He was never a leading actor. Like, he was great in Married with Children and like
Yes.
great support. Little
Yeah.
Giants was one of my favorites with Ed O'Neill.
Oh, I remember
him
that.
against
I
Rick
just watched that
Moranis.
as a kid, yeah.
So good. Yeah, so now we're gonna go over to social media and see what you all had to say about Weird Science, but also we asked the question, what is your favorite John Hughes project or whatever he's written or directed? We're gonna go over to Twitter. Our first one is from Freaks and Geeks, who says he loves this one. Great pick. As far as my favorite, and it's the gif of Clark with the hockey mask and the chainsaw from Christmas Vacation. I always forget that Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in Christmas Vacation.
Yep, Margot.
Yep. VHS Abyss Chris says, big fan of Weird Science. Favorite Hughes for me is the original National Lampoon's Vacation. Hell yeah. Gotta go to Wally World. David Palmer says, this was on high rotation as a kid. Not watched it for years, though. Favorite would be Christmas Vacation or Home Alone 2. It's hard to choose between those two. I love where like the internet is either people enjoy Home Alone 2 or people think it's a utter piece of shit. Like, I don't understand. It's the same movie. Yeah, it is, but who cares? It's still fun as hell.
In New York,
Yeah,
and bigger.
it's a different situation. Jesse or at Mr_J300 says, I love this movie and my favorite John Hughes movies in order literally names almost all the John Hughes movies. You answered the question, but you also
It was what is your favorite? It wasn't list all of them in order.
Well, he names them
Minus
all.
10.
Home Alone 1 through 3, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Ferris Bueller, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Mr. Mom. I forgot he was a writer for that. Some of the National Lampoons and Uncle Buck.
Minus
You know
10
what?
points for being an overachiever.
Yeah. How dare you? All right, now we're going to go over to Instagram. where we do have a couple responses over there. Our first one is from Big Bad Wolf A84, who says, I've seen this and liked it, but my memories of Weird Science come from the TV show that aired on USA Network. Yeah, we mentioned that. I forgot to mention it in the beginning of the show, but yeah, it was 88 episodes of the Weird Science TV show that went from 1994 to 1998. Wow. The plot is so goofy but fun. It's every horny guy's dream. Bill Paxton is simply awesome in this. We get to see a young Tony Stark, Vernon Wells from Commando, and Judy Aronson, who's such a cutie. My go-to John Hughes film would be Home Alone. And then Bucket of Chum Podcast says, movie is a blast, but my memories of Weird Science was mostly from the 90s TV show, which was weird, but also fun. Like I said, had Vanessa Angel as Lisa, so that's I feel like it's worth a watch. I think it's on Tubi right now.
Is it?
I think so.
No, it is not. You
Okay,
can buy
I'm
it
wrong.
on Amazon Prime and Apple TV, but it is not streaming on Tubi.
Damn.
The real Weird Science is on Tubi, but not the TV show.
Yeah, we watched it on Tubi as well. Anyway, don't worry about it.
Hey, we actually got one. Usually we don't get anything from
Just
Facebook,
kidding.
but we got one from our patron and friend Daniel Collins, who says, I have watched this movie several times as well as the TV series. It's one of my top John Hughes movies. My go-to Hughes movie is a tie between Breakfast Club and Uncle Buck. Love Uncle Buck.
I do
All
need
right.
to make a comment that I dropped the ball on something, and my brother would never allow me to stand for this, would never allow me to let this go by if I didn't say anything about it. But we were talking about Vernon Wells, and it didn't click for me until somebody said, hey, that's that motherfucker in chainmail from Commando. And I was like, oh shit, it is that motherfucker. But then I remembered that he was Rancic in Power Rangers. In space? Time Force. Time Force?
Oh, I didn't watch Time Force, sorry.
So no, I didn't really watch it either. But there went for it was Power Rangers Time Force, which would have been
remember the song.
was it Mirai Sentai? Time
no.
Ranger. Yes, Mirai Sentai Time Ranger. So anyway, my brother's a big Super Sentai fan. Like we went through a thing where we were like just watching like history of Power Ranger stuff because we like grew up with it. Even though that's an era I wasn't involved in, but he was the main villain of that entire season of Power Rangers.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it just made me think of that.
Yeah,
All right.
I only recognize him from Mad Max. I'm looking at other stuff he's done. Yeah, he actually did a bunch of Power Rangers stuff.
Go ahead, Angela.
Just go. We're just about Power Rangers. Let's
It's
go.
fine.
Sorry.
No, you're good. She's just gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, just go. Just go.
My bad.
Having a power.
No, you didn't do nothing wrong.
I did I did a commentary track the other day and I almost made it to the end. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta use the bathroom. I try not to when I do commentary tracks because it makes it harder to sync. But I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
What was it on? Not the P, what you talked about.
Yeah. Don't include this part in the episode. It's a surprise.
I missed the secret, so
No,
I
you
don't
just fine. You
know.
There you
can't
go.
know now.
It's
Okay,
okay,
I
no.
can't know now.
It's a secret.
It's okay.
Guys only.
Oh, it's okay.
Just kidding.
Tony doesn't know my
Oh, the signal.
the signal, the bat signal.
Well, that is it for 1985's Weird Science. We want to thank everybody who leaves us a comment over on social media. Make sure to follow us where on any of the social medias. We're either at Dissect That Film or Dissect That Film Pod. And just check out any of the posts of whatever movie we're going to be covering. Leave a comment on what you think of the movie we're going to be covering. And I try to include some bonus questions to make it a little bit more interesting. Because sometimes, especially when you're talking about like underworld blood wars, maybe not a lot of people have seen it, so they're not going to leave you comments. So I like to put a little bonus question to actually get some engagement. Have you seen Underworld Blood Wars, Tony?
I hate the first Underworld.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I really don't like it. And I think I may have seen a little bit of the second one. So no, I haven't watched any of the later sequels. I once did like a trivia night where they gave out prizes, and I won something. And one of the prizes I got was a copy of Underworld. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Really?
Irony.
Wow.
So no,
At least you won.
I haven't seen Blood Wars. I'm sorry.
No, nothing to be sorry
It's just
about.
about tampons, dude. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
Oh my goodness. Well, now that we're done with Weird Science, now it's time to talk about what we're going to be talking about next week, because next week is June, at least when we're recording this. It's not actually June.
Yeah.
But June is going to be Jaws Clone Month. because June will be the official 50th anniversary of Jaws. And the end of the month, we're going to be covering Jaws. I'm actually going to be in Martha's Vineyard the weekend of the Jaws 50th anniversary celebration. So I'm going to be trying to get some cool things recorded during that weekend to include in our big Jaws episode that will be at the end of June, because we covered Jaws all the way back on like episode 5 of the show before we were even dissect that film. So it's been a long time, and I hate that episode. It's well known. I fucking hate that episode because Jaws is my favorite movie, and I hate that episode. That was terrible. So we're redoing it, and what a perfect time to do it than for the 50th anniversary. So we're going to be talking about movies that are like related to Jaws, or movies that were made that were very similar to Jaws. And so we're going to be starting off with a 1990 classic starring Kevin Bacon. We're going to be talking about Tremors. I'm very excited. For one, I love picking a movie that has a significant anniversary this year because Dan loves it so much.
He doesn't know how to stop. All right, he has a problem.
Tony does it too. Okay,
plenty other. I don't want
better.
I'm more involved in this show than his. His shows, he can do what he wants.
I know, but I want to be like Tony. In certain degrees. In certain degrees.
Speaking of Tremors, one, I've reviewed every Tremors. But two, my friend Cecil from the Horror Show, he's one of the writers on the new Tremors comics they're putting out.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet.
But I think there's like a thing, if I was reading it right, because the original creators got the rights to Tremors back, but not the sequels. So all the Tremors stuff going forward can't reference the sequels, I think.
Can only be a reference from the original?
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so there's going to be new Tremors stuff coming out now that the original owners have it. So
yeah, I think Kevin Bacon's
picked
involved
a good time
too.
to cover it.
Yeah. So yeah, we're very excited for that. June is also the only month of the year that has a Friday the 13th. So we're going to be covering Friday the 13th part 3. That's the next one in the series that we got to cover. Nice. So we got that going on, and then we got whatever Dan and Angela pick for the rest of the month. June's going to be a good month. And then July, well, we'll even talk about July. We're going to be talking all action movies because we're co-oping with our good friends over at Gimme Back My Action Horror Movies. They do what's called the month of action, where they just talk about action movies. And we were only going to talk about one action movie in July, but I said, fuck it. We're going to do all action movies for July because why not? What?
No, keep going.
No, what?
No, I'm not. I wasn't making a face about what you're saying. I was like making a face about what cocksucker on Google looked up Jaws ripoffs that are better than Jaws.
A loser.
I'm calling whoever the fuck that is.
You want to know what I pre-ordered like 2 days ago? They just dropped the 50th anniversary steelbook for Jaws. Yeah. Pre-ordered that bitch. I already have 5 copies of the movie back there.
Hell yeah.
You can never have too many.
My wife just laughed at me as soon as I told her. It's good.
That's
times.
Hilarious.
It's a lovely
So yeah,
laugh.
that you guys get a nice sneak peek of what's coming in for the next couple months over here.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and we want to thank Tony for being here. This is always an honor. Always an honor having you on the show. One of these days, I'm going to convince my wife to let me drive down to where you are so I can actually record at the video
100%.
store. If you're just a little bit closer, you're close, but not close enough. Maybe I'll just hide in Joey's trunk one day.
Try do it. Come for a convention.
I think that's the plan. It's gonna happen at some point. I gotta hit the video store. I gotta hit the dungeon. You know, there's a lot I gotta do. But
he won't come see us.
I'm seeing you guys next year. What the hell?
All this seems really targeted.
I know.
What's going on tonight, guys?
Jeez. I'm trying to
picking at you. Gosh.
Well, seriously, Tony, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And dealing with whatever the hell this show is.
It's a great show, except for the Joey C episodes. It's a great show.
Hey, at least you didn't have to talk about I'll always know what you did last summer. Again.
Oh, wait. The 4th one's coming out. Are we all excited for the 4th one?
No.
I seen the preview and
actually the trailer looked pretty good. It was pretty.
It looks good.
Was it?
I thought it looked pretty good.
I don't
I'm not
like the
excited for it.
franchise. I don't like the franchise. I've never
didn't
been
care.
a fan
I was
of the original one. I'd rather watch Scream 1,000 times.
I
over.
love the original one and the sun tanning scene in part 2. But
That made me not want to lay in a tanning bed ever.
but now I saw the trailer for the new one. I'm like, oh, this seems desperate. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
you
legacy
also
sequel.
covered up a murder. Teach us what to do. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's a
here?
legacy
Stop.
sequel.
we
It's
can
Scream.
I know, but they're really stretching with this one.
I think it's just because they brought the OG people.
Oh,
Oh, you don't know about this. Yeah, they had to rewrite the movie because they weren't going to be big parts, and then Jennifer Love Hewitt demanded a bigger part, so they had to like stop
Oh yeah,
production.
she better.
They had to like stop production and rewrite the movie. I can't wait. It's going to be a disaster.
Oh, surely.
Oh man. Well,
It's my fucking movie.
Tony, for anyone who may not know who you are and what you do, can you please tell everybody where they can find you and your wonderful show, Hack the Movies?
Yes. Well, if you don't know who I am, you can go to hell.
Fuck yes.
Yes, Tony from Hack the Movies. I do a movie review show where we talk about movies new and old inside a fake video store. We got a lot of stuff going on. We are going to be returning to live action Batmans. We wanted to get a Batmobile last year like we did for the Keaton ones, and that didn't work out. So we're just doing it without the Batmobile. So stay tuned for that. Recently, we've been doing all the Final Destinations in preparation for the new one. So yeah, lots of fun stuff, doing crazy stuff on Patreon. Just follow Hack the Movies on all your socials, video podcast on YouTube, audio version wherever you get your podcast. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. We've talked about Hack the Movies plenty of times on our show. Tony's been on a few times. You know, you guys know who Hack the Movies is. And if you don't, you need to figure it out. All right?
Yeah.
But all of the links for Tony and Hack the Movies, everything will be down in the description or in the show notes. So make sure to check all that out. As for us, like I said before, follow us on all the social medias at Dissect the Film or Dissect the Film Pod. We're on Patreon too. For a single $1, you can get uncut versions of the episodes you are listening to right now, up to 1 week early. So I feel like that's worth $1. And if you want to support us more, there is another tier there. I do have some ideas going forward for things to make the $3 tier a little bit more worth it. But we appreciate everybody who is in that tier right now. Thank you. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh, we're on YouTube as well. This is my favorite part of the show, if you couldn't tell. We're on YouTube as well, youtube.com/dissect-that-film, where you can watch the video versions of the episode. You can see all of the shenanigans that go on live and in person. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'm probably missing something. I'm always missing something from this end of show stuff, but that's just how it goes. You know, I was told I should write all this stuff down, but why start now? We're over 200 episodes into this thing. Why start now?
Great job.
But lastly, we want to thank our wonderful patrons over at patreon.com/dissect-that-film. We have Billy Joseph Jr., Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast, Corey Morissette, Daniel Collins, Jordan Champion, Rudy5453, Dustin from the Flicks and Friends Podcast, Dan and Angela, Anna Presley, Doom Generation, Eric Stein, Jason, Robert Stewart, and the Barron's Hideout Podcast. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon, and thank you to everybody else for supporting the show, period, for liking, sharing, all that fun stuff. And make sure you go to your favorite podcast apps and rate us 5 stars, because I think we do a pretty good job. I mean, Tony thinks we do a good job, so I trust him. He people.
Yes,
people
I'm the authority on this.
Yes. All right, people, that's it for us. Until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela. And that is Tony from Hack the Movies. And this has been another episode of the Dissect That Film podcast. We'll see you again on the next one. Bye. It's time to do some weird science.